Okay, I'm not exactly sure who cares about my life or what I'm doing, but here's a quick overview. If you care about the scriptures, read Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 38 to 39, and also read Nehemiah 13, 4 to 14. In this passage in Sirach, it describes that the occupation of scribe depends on the opportunity of leisure. A man who is engaging in a lot of worldly business cannot develop wisdom and the stature of counsel. In Nehemiah 13, it says, Nehemiah was furious to find that the huge storehouse that keeps alive three types of people: the prayer people, which people are apt to say, why don't you get a job? The musicians who have to practice, and the gatekeepers, the people who are outgoing, the people who greet people at the gate of Jerusalem, find out what their needs are, give them the tour of the city, introduce them to people, and basically are constantly in the work of greeting and communicating and connecting peoples. I am all three of those. Positions. And Nehemiah was furious that the huge storehouse that supplies the three most important people to help keep the mind and the spiritual life of the family going has been basically taken over by a rich guy. A rich guy moved in and he made the storehouse his own habitation. And the prayer people, the singers and musicians, and the gatekeepers, the greeters, and the outgoing social people bridge people, they all started digging ditches just to stay alive. And they stopped doing their prayer work, their singing work, and their people greeting work. Nehemiah was furious. He scolded the entire community, and threw all of the rich guy's stuff that was blocking the storage place, and he told all of Israel, fill this storehouse up so that your people are praying and teaching your children how to pray, singing and teaching your children how to sing, greeting and making sure that you're connected together well, because the gatekeepers know everybody and they make good bridges between peoples. For a lot of my life, people have accused me of being wicked because I'm not in a job. If you've ever worked side by side with me, you know that when I put my hands to a job, I work hard and I work longer and I work more in a more diligently and detailed way than most other people. Across the years, I've been sent to serve the rehab center churches because they are more serious and more capable of developing the home communion group model of church that Jesus taught us to be, because that's what prevents the drug addict from relapsing. That's what prevents the children from wandering away from being friends with God. I don't care what college they go to. If you teach them how to be the home communion group model of church, they have a hedge against all of their ordinary weaknesses and sins, and they enjoy being together and being an interactive body and carrying one another over their weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. Here's the journey I've just been on. September 28th to October 23rd. Florida by plane to California. In Las Vegas airport, I meet Zach. Zach invites to he welcomes me to a ride from the Sacramento airport, an hour and a half drive to Grass Valley, California. I'm going precisely where he lives. I met him in the airport, just in the airport. And as we're talking about his friend Kevin, who's had terrible drug problems, we discover that he and I are sitting side by side, seat 38, 37A and 37B. He takes me to his home. Miracles happen. This was a divine appointment. Many years ago, God sent me to many rehab centers to literally go and live in them and see what their programs were like and learn from their programs. He sent me to the Bracken's house and had Jim Bracken lay hands on me and pray over me. My purpose in life, it's not written here, but to care for families with addicted loved ones and teenage kids aging out of foster care. These are my two people group concerns, because when you touch those two people groups, they rise up and they become community leaders. They tell their testimony. So I was in California for longer than I expected, and I got sick. And then I was invited to take the bus while I was very ill, and it was a painful, long 3-day journey. Many people's lives were touched. I don't have very many stories to tell. I left tons of literature along the way. I get to Nashville, Lebanon, Tennessee, and I meet Wilson County Faith-Based Anti-Drug Initiative and Mike Rutland in a most peculiar way. I would not have met Mike Rutland if I had not been in the hospital in Lebanon. I felt so afflicted that I needed to go into a worship environment. A worship environment. I got lost. I didn't find the church I was looking for. I found Pastor Mike Rutland's church, and it said Pastor Appreciation Day. And the Holy Spirit said to me, "You are an unrecognized and unappreciated pastor. Go in and celebrate. I celebrate you as a pastor today," is what the Holy Spirit said to me. And I don't say that pridefully. I lose hope often because I don't have much materially to show for myself. On this table is Wilson County. I walked into Mike Rutland's church the day before this meeting. He said, "You are here to go to this meeting. I will personally invite you. It's an invitation-only thing. It's for pastors. The Opioid Crisis Resources for you and your congregation." Mike Rutland was really one of the most dynamic speakers on the pastor's panel, the man that I was sent to, right here. Pickett Rucker United Methodist Church. I got to tell him of my origins in Ocean City, New Jersey, the end of one of the Underground Railroad trains, founded by creative Methodist ministers who wanted to have an island retreat before there were bridges. Smyrna, Tennessee. This is critical. This is interesting because Smyrna, Tennessee is where Grady Judd Sr. is from. This person I felt instantly connected to. Jen Talbert works in Smyrna. And all these people, Jamie Harper, Bill Shepard, Williamson County Anti-Drug Coalition, Will Taylor, and this guy, Monty Burks. Monty Burks has an awesome testimony himself. He is the director of faith-based initiatives for the state of Tennessee, Nashville. This Tennessee Recovery Congregations, addressing adverse childhood experiences in children. These two things on this journey, the miracle meeting of Nevada County, Zach and Kevin, and Dr. Pastor Mike Rutland, these two things are God leading to me to what I care about. Families with addicted loved ones. Teenage kids aging out of foster care. My Uncle Don, a long time ago, Christine and I had been touring old diners and taking pictures of them because they were fading from Americans' roadside and a lot of them were being destroyed. Somebody asked me, "Hey, can you find an old diner for me? I'll give you a commission for finding me a great old diner." And I worked up a price, and I talked to my Uncle Don because I trust his business sense. And he says, somebody is going to say, "Oh, you didn't work to make that money. You just made all that money without working." And he said to me, "You have put so much of your life into knowing the whole diner world inside and out. This is your pay for all of that time. Do not feel embarrassed about taking this pay. Now I say to you, Uncle Don, Aunt Margie, Patsy, you have been frustrated and furious with me because of my lack of dollars and cents in labor flow. But I work, and I am trying to set up a home where people can come out of rehabs and learn how to do and be the home communion group model of church. Friends of Jesus from Youth Incorporated. That's my secret business title. Friends of God from Youth Incorporated. I want to be planting 10 homes in this country. I will plant 10 homes in this country that are disciple houses, where people learn how to go home and be the communion group model of church in a busy, busy life where there's outreach and there's business running and a lot of things going on. But 3 times a week we check in with real honesty, real communion, and we carry one another's weaknesses. I have 2 primary weaknesses. I put off communicating about situations and issues, sometimes even good ones or pivotal ones to the business. I put off communicating. And I know that I have a spirit of rebellion around me. My father actually taught me to stop and not finish the job. There was an anti-discipline spirit that was attached to me. And I know that those are the 2 primary invisible spirits that I battle with. It's not me. I don't have any desire. I have a desire to go to the highest priority and attack it until it's done. And I want you to pray for me that I will have helpers to combat those 2 spirits, communicating in a timely manner about the best and most important issues and the difficult issues, and also the discipline to focus on the top priority and to finish the job. And I pray that I will be able to delegate the projects. So peace be with you. This is the report of my journey from Florida to California to Lebanon and back to Florida. I'm coming back to a financial mess, and I'm coming back to a possible hopelessness, but my purpose has not been watered down.